what are treatment ideas for your child with ADHD that don't include medicine? One of the things that you can do is actually change the way that the brain is functioning through what you do with your body and playing with different nerves, how nerves function. I'm Ivan Hardcastle. I am the parent coach. I help families raise kids with ADHD, and there is a lot that you can do without medication so that your child is having success. Now, one of the things that I want to invite you is, if what I'm talking about resonates with you and if you're curious and want to know more, just click on my link in my bio and set up a time. But today I'm talking about non-medication ways that we can actually change the brain so that your child with ADHD is doing better, making steps forward and having success. And it has to do with what I've got in my hands. The ADHD brain takes information all around during the day, and that moves through the brain, and we have a funnel that information has to go through to be able to function, to be able to concentrate, to be able to focus. And when that information is not flowing, that is when you see your child withdraw, you see the shutdown, you see the angry outbursts, you see the overwhelm, the frustration, and things that you're thinking are behaviors, but it's really a processing thing. And we want to be able to open up that funnel. Today is things that you can actually do to your child's brain, to their nervous system, to allow that funnel to open. It's still incredibly important that you have a connection with your child, that you understand yourself, but sometimes you can just go straight to movement because, and this isn't going to work for everybody because everybody's a little unique, but this is one that generally helps a lot of people. These are weighted balls. You can use other things that have weight to them. They don't have to be these. But what you do is that you can play a game of catch or teach them to juggle or toss it yourself to them and back and forth if you use bean bags if you wanted. And what it does is that every time that it is smacking into the hand, muscles are being activated. And what that does is it actually calms down the brain's overwhelm. And so then as you do this and you start to do it in a rhythm that stays structured, the nerves are actually sending a signal to the brain that is telling the brain, hey, things are okay. And it starts to open up that funnel. And suddenly that huge meltdown that was happening, the huge frustration, the huge everything that's going on starts to flow. And your child can focus and your child can concentrate. I'm reminded of a family that I was working with, and they came over, I was coaching them in theater because I also do musical theater. And the daughter got frustrated. She got overwhelmed. And I said, hey, hold on. And I grabbed a ball and we started tossing it back and forth. And the mom was just like, no. We got to go home because she's shut down. And this takes hours for her to reset. And in 5 minutes, we were back to looking at music and looking at scripts and lines. And she was re-engaged and mom's jaw was on the floor. This can work amazingly. But remember, in order to do that, you really need to be regulated yourself. You need to be able to understand yourself, and you need to have that connection with your child. Otherwise, when you try to do this with your child, it's going to backfire because your child will not want to connect with you.